All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. We are back. We are doing a special breaking news emergency broadcast here. There was in Minneapolis just about an hour ago a shooting, an ICE officer involved shooting where ICE officers were trying to leave the scene after detaining several illegal aliens. Protesters got in the way. It seems one woman specifically in this red car here that you're looking at right now attempted to run over an ICE officer. The ICE officer defensively shot her as she was attempting to run him over. And now she has lost her life. And so now there are massive protests and potentially riots forming right this very moment. We just had aerial footage of what it looked like on the ground. I'm going to show you right now. We are waiting for the mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey, to come out and address the situation. Any minute that's going to be happening. But I want to show you what is currently unfolding on the ground. So first, I'm just going to start playing through some of this footage. Folks, things are getting absolutely insane. Things are getting absolutely insane. In fact, you know what? Why don't I go ahead and show you what the shooting looked like as it happened? And by the way, you don't see anybody die. You don't see any blood or anything. But this is this is what led to this entire situation. One moment here. I have two different angles of this. This is the first angle here. Turn up the audio. Take a look.
Get the fuck out of our neighborhood! Out car. What the fuck? Dude, what the fuck?
So I'm going to rewind. Let's just get the order of operations here. This red car is being stopped. It was attempting to run over an ICE officer. There's an ICE officer in front of the car, and I'll show you that because we have footage from a different angle here. The driver attempts to accelerate into the ICE officer, trying to run him over, and then you hear the shots ring out. Take a look. So the car is put into reverse and then gets put into forward drive and tries to run over the officer. And that is when 3 shots are fired. So right now, you can imagine there's a left-wing narrative that the officer just shot this driver out of nowhere. That is not what happened. The car backs in reverse, gets some space. The ICE officer's in front of the car, and then it's a female driver. She puts it into forward gear and tries to run him over. And like you can hear her accelerating. And the car is accelerating before any shots ring out. Is the mayor live? Do we have the live feed? Here he is.
So they are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense.
Oh my God.
Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bullshit.
Oh, fuck you.
This was an agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying, getting killed. As soon as it happened and we learned of the incident, we had several priorities. The first, of course, was to get the victim to the hospital and to get care as soon as possible. To the family, I'm so deeply sorry. There's nothing that I can say right now that's going to make you or your relatives or the friends of the victim feel any better. There were, I believe, 2 Minneapolis police officers that responded and were in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. The second was to get ICE off of the scene. There were dozens, if not hundreds, of ICE and federal officers that were there at the time. Having them there was only causing more chaos. Having them there was only making a difficult situation even more problematic, and one that, yes, they created themselves. There's little I can say, again, that'll make this situation better, but I do have a message for our community, for our city, and I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here. Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite. People are being hurt. Families are being ripped apart. Long-term Minneapolis residents that have contributed so greatly to our city, to our culture, to our economy are being terrorized, and now somebody is dead. That's on you. And it's also on you to leave. It's on you to make sure that further damage, further loss of life and injury is not done. We're going to be working towards justice as quickly as we possibly can right now, and justice is what we've all got to get. Next, a message to our community.
Let's hear it.
Look, we all know that the agenda of this Trump administration is to create chaos. Let us respond right now with our best versions of self. This is a moment where all of us in Minneapolis and beyond, we can rise to the occasion. We can show them who we are.
They're going to riot.
We can show them the kind of courage, bravery, love, and compassion that makes Minneapolis, Minneapolis, and that makes America, America. We are better than a bunch of ICE agents being deployed to cities around the country and ripping apart families and communities. We're better than that. And so we are going to meet that hate with love. We are going to meet that despair with hope. We are going to meet that injustice with constitutional justice ourselves. And we're going to make sure that in this very difficult moment, we do not take the bait that these ICE agents are trying to create and that the federal government, to be clear, wants. They want us to respond in a way that creates a military occupation in our city. They want an excuse to come in and show the kind of force that will create more chaos and more despair. Let's not let them. Let's rise to this occasion. Let's show them something far more beautiful than the kind of division that they're trying to stoke. Let's show them unity of purpose, of love, and the courage of our conviction. Our conviction, to be clear, is rock solid, and it is for our neighbors, all of our neighbors. It's for people who have lived here for 80 years. It is for new immigrants who have made this city a better place.
Oh,
that's the kind of love that we're going to show up with right now. If you're angry, I get it. I am too. If you're feeling that kind of despair, it's understandable. Let's show them who we can be. Let's show up with peace. To march, to protest, to hug one another, to love all the way with peace. Do not give them what they want. Finally, you know, we've got a lot of work that needs to happen right now to make sure that, first, of course, the scene was secured as much as possible, that we were able to get the victim, now deceased, to the hospital. We've got a lot of work to do in the coming days. I want to thank our city enterprise for the work that they have done, but more importantly, what they're about to do, because this is going to be heavy and our city has been through a lot. We also know that we're prepared to do right for people. Among them is our chief of police. And I'll invite him up.
My name is Brian O'Hara, B-R-I-A-N-O''H-A-R-A. I am the Minneapolis Police Chief. This morning, Minneapolis police officers received a report of federal law enforcement being involved in a deadly force incident, meaning shots had been fired. Minneapolis police officers responded to the scene. We arrived and found a woman with a gunshot wound to the head. Life-saving measures were performed at the scene, including CPR. The woman was transported to Hennepin County Medical Center, where she has since been pronounced deceased. The preliminary information that we have indicates that this woman was in her vehicle and was blocking the roadway on Portland Avenue, midway between 33rd Street and 34th Street in the city. At some point, a federal law enforcement officer approached her on foot, and the vehicle began to drive off. At least 2 shots were fired.
3 shots.
The vehicle then crashed on the side of the roadway.
She tried to run him over.
Minneapolis police officers secured the crime scene and assisted in trying to preserve the evidence that is there. We have since turned over the scene both to the Federal Bureau of Investigation as well as the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, which will be conducting an investigation into this use of deadly force. I want to thank the mayor, city council president, other members of the city council, state legislators that were on the scene. This has been a very difficult time for everyone in the city. And this is obviously a very, very tragic situation where a woman has lost her life. That being said, in addition to this tragedy, which unfortunately we did predict, we were seriously concerned about further escalation from the scene. And I want to thank the elected officials that came themselves to help us prevent that from happening, as well as the individuals on that scene that remained peaceful and that abided by law enforcement instructions so that we could preserve that scene and ensure that a full and transparent investigation can take place. That being said, I just echo the mayor's comments that we ask that the community continue to call for peace. We understand people are going to be upset about what happened, and people are going to want to exercise their First Amendment rights. But please do so safely. It's
going to be a long day, folks.
To ensure that we do not have any further tragedy in this city or destruction. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you, council members. Commissioner, I'll open it to questions.
Any idea on the identity of the ICE officer who fired those shots at this point?
I don't have that information, no. The question was, is there an identity of the ICE officer that fired? I do not have that.
Mayor, we're hearing the ICE officer stopped a position from helping the lady who was shot. Is that true? We've seen videos all over social media that someone tried to help this lady, and they were told, they were pointing guns at and told to get away. Do you know about that at all?
So the question was, there's information out there that people tried to help the woman that was shot, and ICE officers then pointed guns at them and told them to leave. I do not have that information. I myself saw a video of the shots being fired as the car was driving away.
She tried to run him over.
What I can tell you is the narrative that this was just done in self-defense is a garbage narrative.
It was. It literally was.
That is not true. It has no truth. And
we're going to play the video.
Stated very clearly, since we have already seen a video of it. I do not know as to what you're saying.
We've got numerous videos. This was self-defense.
She wasn't driving the car toward him, using her vehicle as a weapon.
That does not appear to be the case at all.
What?
What's the city's protocol when an observer or an activist calls 911? They say an agent's phone them or an agent's pointing a gun at them.
This guy is lying, and by doing so, he's inciting violence. By immediately lying about this.
Repeat it one more time. I forgot I missed the first part of what you said. I'll turn it over to the chief. Yeah.
What does the city do when someone calls 911 and a federal agent's
Oh, I see.
pointing a gun at
Yeah.
them? That sort of thing.
I'll turn it over to the chief. The question is, what does someone do when a federal agent is pointing a gun at them? Chief.
So, if I heard you correctly, the question is about when people call 911, what is the city's protocol in these situations? We've had a very dramatic increase in 911 calls related to this activity. We have a protocol in place that has been evolving as the situation has been changing. And at this time, there is a designated supervisor that is on duty 24/7 that fields those calls. And we do everything that we can to ensure that they are appropriately prioritized, with the priority being placed upon the protection of life and safety of everyone in the community.
Can you tell us any more about the woman who was fatally shot? Was she there as a legal observer, protester, bystander? What do you know that you can share?
So the question was, what can I share about the deceased? There is nothing to indicate that this woman was the target of any law enforcement investigation or activity. This woman was in her car, and it appears then blocking the street because of the presence of federal law enforcement.
And then tried to run them over.
Obviously something that has been happening, not just in Minneapolis, but around the country. She appears to be a middle-aged white woman.
Huh.
Chief, just about a month ago, you said these unplanned and questionable tactics by federal agents would result in someone being killed at a press conference right here. Do you consider today's tactics in line with that, or do you just have a generic response to the fact that somebody is now dead?
The question is that I had previously made several statements about being concerned about the tactics being employed. I am obviously very concerned that I have been told that a woman who was sitting in her car blocking the street and not the target of
Why was she doing that?
Any enforcement activity is now deceased. However, I do not know, to be clear, I do not know the exact circumstances of the shooting, but I would tell you, in any professional law enforcement agency in the country, I think they would tell you it's obviously very concerning whenever there's a shooting into a vehicle of someone who's not armed. But it also
a vehicle is a weapon.
That is possible. At times, it is justified.
At times, it is
very
justified.
Concerning, and it's something that most law enforcement agencies in the country train very intensely to try and minimize the risk that law enforcement officers get placed into a situation that the need for deadly force would be necessary.
Has there been any indication of that need in this case?
I didn't hear the question, I'm sorry.
Has there been any indication of the need to shoot into the vehicle?
The question was any indication about the need. I guess getting back to the justification of this, I have not seen any information other than what I have communicated.
Was she alone in the car? Were there children in the car with her?
The question was if she was alone in the car. I know that
I think she was.
I got there shortly after this call came in. I did not see anyone else with her while I was on the scene. However, I've since been told by our officers that have been with her the entire time that a spouse has arrived at the hospital.
Mayor, just curious if you're thinking about contacting federal authorities to register your concerns about this, personally making phone calls, et cetera.
Yes, we've been on the phone all morning.
Yeah, call Trump. See what he's got to say.
As soon as we learned about this, again, there were a series of priorities that we needed to go through. The first, of course, is to keep people safe and to help the victim in any way that we could. The second was to get ICE off of the scene. There was the notion that ICE agents would be necessary to create a perimeter around the scene itself. They themselves were creating the kind of dysfunction and chaos that they claimed to be trying to help with.
Oh my God.
And so the message that we delivered very clearly was to make them leave. Now, beyond leaving the scene, they should also leave our city and our state.
Shut up.
You know, we do work, our chief does work, our sheriff does work every single day to keep people safe in our city and in our state. And crime is dramatically down. Crime is down. It continues to trend down. They are doing the hard work of investigating, of arresting perpetrators of violent crime. What this federal administration is doing right now is not about creating safety. Do not let them tell you that what they are doing is about creating safety. It is not.
You're a traitor.
It is having the opposite impact. We need to be clear-eyed about the work that is moving forward, and they need to leave Minneapolis.
We have time for one or two more questions.
Mayor, you may know this with your legal background. If this shooting is found to not be justified, does the city have any legal, or the state rather, have any legal recourse to bring charges against this ICE agent, given that this person is a federal agent, if the feds don't?
So obviously, and I have to always lead with this caveat because it is true, an investigation still does need to be conducted. I had my perception of what took place based on the vehicle and the vehicle's positioning. It does not appear that the individual is trying to ram anybody.
That's
now,
bullshit.
The question was, if it is in fact found to be an unjustified shooting, who issues the charge, who prosecutes?
Bullshit.
How does justice take place? I don't know the answer in full to that. This is obviously information that we're still working out. Chief, do you have any additional information, or Commissioner?
What a
the only
dirty
thing I would add
liar.
to the mayor's statement is that the crime scene was held by the Minneapolis Police Department, and the investigation is now being led jointly by the
we
Federal
will play the
Bureau of
video. I've got them all
Investigation,
ready to
as well
go.
as the Minnesota
We will.
Bureau of Criminal Apprehension.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the purpose of their involvement would be to investigate whether any state laws within the state of Minnesota have been violated.
One more
Can I just add something to that too?
Oh, sorry, sir.
What's very important is that for our communities that we do have some kind of part in this investigation. It needs to be done on a local level. With all due respect to the federal level, we do need to make sure that our local agencies are involved. Most certainly the BCA is very well capable of working with our federal partners in doing so. That is something that is needed for our communities, and so that's something that I can tell you that there's already been conversations from the U.S. Attorney's Office to the BCA that have already taken place today. How that's going to roll out, we don't know yet, but we are making sure that there is some kind of local entity, namely the BCA, that has a part in this investigation for the purposes of transparency and expedient transparency as to what happened today.
One more.
Sorry.
If that's it. Thank you, everybody.
Final piece. Yeah. Again, thank you everybody for coming. Thank you to the media for being here and disseminating this very important information around this tragic incident. To reiterate a final message to our community members, I understand the anger. Let's unite around hope and love and peace and getting justice. That's what we need to be doing right now. I appreciate the service from everybody up here as well as the 435,000 people that call Minneapolis home. Thank you.
So this guy is just a filthy, dirty liar. Mayor Jacob Frey. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you, I think a lot of new people tuned in here. I'm going to show you we have two videos. Stephen Miller is already calling this domestic terrorism. Stephen Miller has chimed in and he's already calling this domestic terrorism. I'm going to show you two different points of view, and then you guys can figure out whether or not the driver, the woman of this driver of this vehicle, whether or not she was trying to run over an ICE officer. You be the decider. Here's video number one. I'm going to put it up on the big screen here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, you're paying attention to this red car. I'll play it once full all the way through, and then we'll break it down step by step, okay?
Get the fuck out of our neighborhood! Out car! Out car! What the fuck? Dude, what the fuck?
So that is how it unfolded here. So let's break this down play by play. And like I said, I have another angle that actually shows all of this even better, but we'll talk about this one first. Woman in the car, she's blocking the road. She's attempting to stop this ICE. This is an ICE police vehicle trying to drive out of town, and she's blocking the vehicle with her red car here. She's blocking the middle of the road. They walk up to the car. One of them is in front of the car. An ICE officer is in front of the car. One is on the side of the car. You can hear them say in this video, "Ma'am, get out of the car." This is a lawful order from a federal officer. "Ma'am, get out of the car." What does she do? I need to get here. First off, she puts the car in reverse. So she backs the car up a little bit. And then she puts it back in forward drive. And she floors it. She starts going. And then it's right about here where the shots ring out. So the Democrats right now, they're trying to say that, You know, this officer fired on her for no reason. Officer was in front and on the side of the car, two of them. Ma'am, get out of the car. She puts the car in forward drive and pedal to the metal floor as it tries to run one of them over. And then, in self-defense, they open fire. Play it again. Once again, what happens first? The shots or the forward momentum of the car? The forward momentum of the car. The car is, she's driving forward. She tries to run this guy over. And you can see there's actually two officers. This one here was on the side of the vehicle. This officer here was the one that fired the shots. He was in front of the car. This is the officer that she tried to run over. Now, for a different angle, in fact, it's a better angle. Take a look at this.
No!
Get out of the... Okay, once again, they're saying get out of the car. Get out of the effing car. One of them tries to go up and open the door, one on the side, and this officer in the back, he's in front of the vehicle.
No! Shame! Shame!
And she tries to run him over. There you have it. Everybody said you wanted to see a better angle. She tries to run this guy over. She floors. So, by the way, his gun wasn't even drawn until she floors. He didn't even have his gun out. His gun is holstered right there. He's got his hand on his gun, but it's holstered. She floors it, and then he pulls it out after she smashed down on the pedal there. So it's like, there you have it. She was not in fear of her life. She did not have guns pointed at her. There were no guns out at this point. And by the way, a vehicle, what is it? This is a Honda Pilot. What is this, like a 3,000-pound car? It's a big old SUV. Everybody said that, oh, well, she didn't have a weapon, but weapons were pointed at her. Well, actually, there were no weapons pointed at her. We can see the video footage. And in fact, she is the one sitting behind a 3,000-pound SUV weapon. She tries to run over a federal officer. Are you kidding me? I'll play this again here.
No! No! Shame! Shame! Oh my fucking God! What the fuck? What the fuck? You just fucking, what the fuck did you do?
And so we've got this footage here. These are the two video clips we have that I have seen right now. And then we also have a ton of additional footage of the aftermath. This footage is actually much longer. Oh, a third video just released. Can anyone find that video? What is the name of the channel or of the Twitter page, the X page that you saw that on? Because I will pull that up. Ladies and gentlemen, we're doing breaking news coverage here. I'm looking for the third video. If there is a third video that shows perhaps a different angle, I want to get all of the different angles covered. And then also these people, there's like some protesting and rioting going on. Aftermath, we're going to take a look at that also. But Tim Pool on Twitter posted that. Let me take a look here. No, the video he posted we have already seen. We've already seen that. Yeah, the video he posted about a half hour ago that I'm seeing is this one. This is the one we just watched.
No! No! Shame! Shame! Oh my fucking God!
Yeah, you really should not try to run over federal officers with a car that don't even have their weapons drawn. Once again, when she floored the gas there, when she went full pedal to the metal, the officer didn't even have his gun drawn. And if you don't, I mean, we can see all breakdown. His hand is on his gun. Okay, so she puts it in reverse. She accelerates. She's turning the wheel to try to pull away. And only after does she accelerate, then his gun comes out. You can see it crystal clear. And then maybe 1 or 2 seconds later, she's intent. She is pedal to the metal. Then the shots ring out. Okay, I'll take a look at Nick Sortor. Thank all of you very much. Nick Sortor, stand by here, folks. Okay, thank you. I believe this is the video we're talking about here. This one's a little bit further off. I mean, here you can, from this angle, you can actually see her hit him with the car. She has hit him with the car. That's what that is. Zoom in, hyper enhance. You can see his body recoil back as she drives right into his pelvis. And I want to play the audio because it's after he's hit by the car, then you hear the shots ring out. Play again. Yeah. But then, of course, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, he gets up in this press conference about 15 minutes ago and he says, this was not an act of self-defense. These federal ICE agents, they shot on this innocent woman for no reason. They just felt like killing an innocent person today, I guess. Really? That's the same one there. Okay, those we have 3 different angles. And there was something else. Oh, you know what? We have a statement from ICE coming through. Tricia McLaughlin. Today, ICE officers in Minneapolis were conducting targeted operations when rioters began blocking ICE officers, and one of these violent rioters weaponized her vehicle, attempting to run over our law enforcement officers in an attempt to kill them, an act of domestic terrorism. Is that true? Yeah, that is like we've now seen this unfold from 3 different angles. Side, front, back. Long distance, close up, short distance, we've seen it all. This woman tried to run over a federal officer. Yeah. An ICE officer fearing for his life, the lives of his fellow law enforcement, and the safety of the people, fired defensive shots. He used his training and saved his own life and that of his fellow officers. The alleged perpetrator was hit and is deceased. The ICE officers who were hurt are expected to make full recoveries. This is the direct consequence of constant attacks and demonization of our officers by sanctuary politicians who fuel and encourage rampant assaults on our law enforcement. Yeah, I mean, we've all seen over the last 11 months, assaults on ICE officers have increased by over 1,800%, 1,800% increase. Oh, it says this here says 1,300% increase. And assaults against them have increased by 8,000%. Oh no, that's death threats by 8,000%. This is an evolving situation and we will give the public more information. Okay. I want to, real quick, we have live aerial footage here, folks. Seems like protesters are gathering. Now, is the crowd getting larger or is it dispersing? We'll take a look here. I actually think that this is footage from earlier today. I think that this is perhaps not live. I want to take a look at some super chats here over, actually, let me do Rumble first here. I see this one. This is from War Garble. He says, Matt, check out Dr. Carlin B's anti-communist work. Minnesota's a hotbed of socialist activity. I believe you. It sure seems like it. Thank you very much, by the way. I appreciate that super chat. That sure seems to be the case. We have a super chat here from Love USA. He says, First Amendment right is not equal to obstructing law enforcement or like trying to run over federal law enforcement with your 3,500 pound SUV. That is a problem. You should not do that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. This is Raya Eagle Wings. Good morning, good afternoon. She says, Matt, this is why we love your show. You speak the truth. Thank you. This is a deep state insurrection against us true patriots. Stand with ICE. God bless President Trump and God bless America. I'll tell you what, of course, we all have our political leanings here. I cannot even fathom watching this footage that we just played here, and like thinking that this was not self-defense. Where is this? I don't know how someone can watch this video, whether you're a Kamala Harris voter or a Trump voter or whatever the hell you are. I do not know how someone can watch this footage and then blame the ICE officer here. She tried to run him over. He didn't even have his weapon drawn. She, the driver, floored her vehicle into the hip, into the pelvis of this ICE officer, and then he pulled out his weapon. And then he fired defensively after she tried to kill him by running him over with the 3.5 or what is it, 4,000-pound SUV. This is astounding. This is astounding. And by the way, you know that these far left radicals in Minnesota, really probably all across the country, you know that they're going to do something here. Oh, here. This is live. You know that if it's not happening already, there in all likelihood there will be protests, perhaps even riots. This is astounding. No, she didn't. Let me ask you what should happen. If somebody floors their vehicle right into a federal officer, what do you think is going to happen? After the federal officer, 2 of them have approached your vehicle and told you to get out of the vehicle. Federal officers approach you. Their weapons are not drawn. What is this?
Decisions made by prosecutors, both.
Now, what are they doing? And of course, they cut away from it. Federal officers, actually, it goes back even before that. This woman is deliberately blocking the road. She has parked her vehicle laterally across the road to prevent the federal officers from leaving, from doing their job. They get out of their car. They approach her vehicle. They say, ma'am, get out of the vehicle. Get out of the vehicle. And by the way, their guns are not drawn. Their firearms are not drawn when they approach. The woman, in response, then puts the car in forward gear and tries to ram into the federal officer. What do you think happens? What do you you're impeding federal law enforcement. You are ignoring lawful federal orders. Get out of the vehicle. You're trying to run them over. It's like 3 strikes: impeding, ignoring, attempting to kill. What do you want me to say? Like what can be said here, right? I'm going to scan around here.
And to be peaceful, but and then of course utilizing their First Amendment rights to speak out, to protest. But
looking for updates here, folks.
I felt like there was a contradiction in that message. You cannot both ask to de-escalate the situation, to diffuse what is hot-tempered situation, but at the same time rebuking marks about ICE in totality, and telling them they should leave both the area as well as the state. So I just see that everyone needs to cool their tempers. They need to put forth their support behind a investigation that is in tandem. Both the federal are going to look at the officer.
This is really just something else. I have some other footage here, some other breaking news as it relates to all of this, ladies and gentlemen.
Groups here.
I need to crank up the audio on this one. Stand by. We have some background information. This is a white female who is a U.S. citizen, allegedly,
that are still in the area. And we actually just got a statement from ICE as well. I think we can put that up for you here, where ICE says, quote, ICE officers in Minneapolis were conducting targeted operations when rioters began blocking ICE officers. One of these violent rioters weaponized her vehicle, attempting to run over our law enforcement officers in an attempt to kill them, an act of domestic terrorism. An ICE officer, fearing for his life, the lives he used his training and saved his own life and that of his fellow officers. The alleged perpetrator was hit and is deceased. So we have confirmation there that the woman who was involved in that incident has died, was pronounced dead. And so we want to protester groups here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a powder keg situation right here. You can see how close things are to just breaking out into mayhem. Leftist terrorists are ambushing and surrounding ICE agents after one of them tried to drive over the ICE agent.
Get back! Get back!
This is on the ground. Listen, hey, you know what? If you once again, this guy is reaching for the firearm of a federal officer. You don't get to try to steal the firearm, the gun, off of a federal officer as they're doing their federal stuff. You don't get to do that. Guess what? You're getting pepperballed in the face. You are getting shot in the face with a pepper ball. You don't get to do this.
Let go! Let go! Whoa! Kill someone else! Run for it!
Insane.
Kill someone else!
Honestly, he's, to be frank, I'm not wishing harm on anybody. He is lucky he did not get shot with a real gun. This is insane that he was doing this. Trying to steal this guy's firearm. He is lucky he did not end up getting shot with an actual firearm as well. Good God. Lucky.
Kill someone else!
Hey, bro, don't do it, man. They already took one person today, dude. Don't do it, bro. It's not worth it. Uh-huh.
Watching to see authorities are responding to an ICE-involved shooting. That's how it's being described by the people in South Minneapolis right now. We now have a reporter there. Earlier today, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz posted that his public safety team is working to get more information and urge people to remain calm. And moments ago, the mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Fry, said they are working to get ICE out of his state. A lot going on, or his city. Senior correspondent Mike Tobin is on the ground for us in South Minneapolis. Mike.
And the police tape is up right now. As you can see, it's a several block area behind me that is tied off. The tear gas has already been used because each time you get one of these ICE events or a Border Patrol scene, you get the protesters who descend on it. That has already happened here. The details we know thus far is that the person who was shot is a woman. We don't really know much.
Watching to.
Now, I guess there is, yeah, chaos is breaking out. It's happening. Yep.
Kill someone else!
Please pepper spray all of them. Please pepper spray every single one of them. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Thank God. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Go another way! Move! Go another way! Move! Go another way! Behind us!
I'm gonna be honest here, man. You call me a radical. If you are blocking vehicles like this, federal like law enforcement vehicles or otherwise, even if you're just like a climate change protester sitting in the middle of the freeway, we should have a law where people are just allowed to run you over. This is insane that people think that they can get away with this. I want the Senate Republicans to go nuclear right now, and we're gonna call it Morris's Law, and Morris's Law will allow people blocking vehicles, middle of the road, you just run them over. Why not? This is insane, man.
Move! Nice fucking move! Get out of the way! Get out! Chris, get out the way! Get out the way of the truck! Move! Move! Fuck you! Fuck you, people! Fuck you!
They just broke a window. I just heard a window break.
Nazis! Nazis! Nazis!
Oh yeah, there it is. They just smashed the back window of this truck here.
Nazi! 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 Nazi!
Brings back memories.
Man, this is nuts. This is insane. Dude, these guys are just trying to literally deport violent, criminal, like sexually predatory illegal aliens. That is what they are out here doing. And they are met with mobs of violent far-left radicals. They come prepared. They've got their own gas masks. Like this is a coordinated counter movement to ICE here. Okay, I don't know how they're doing this. They're all part of the same Telegram chat or something, but like they're in the middle of a residential neighborhood. You don't have 50 counter protesters pop up in the middle of a residential neighborhood unless there's some type of coordinated anti-ICE movement, some operation going on here. Okay, so first off, how is that happening? Who's paying for that? Where are these people coming from? How are they coordinating? Beyond that, these ICE agents, they've got to deal with all these freaks tossing things at them, trying to take their guns, like we saw, trying to run them down with 4,000-pound SUVs.
What are you doing? You're breaking families, bitch! You're breaking families, motherfucker! Get out of their way! Get out of their... Hey, let the vehicle leave! You guys are breaking families, man!
Hey, you guys are breaking families, man. Well, then you can go back to Guatemala and be with the rest of them, dude. Who cares? Listen, get out of the country, dog. Hey, listen, essay, get out of the country, man. You're breaking up families. Yeah, then go live with your abuela in Mexico. Nobody's going to miss you up here. Bye-bye.
You can't be doing that! Fuck off!
This is unbelievable. By the way, 17 Awakening, 0.0004228 Bitcoin through the Rumble wallet. Rumble wallet, big deal. Thank you very much. Thank you. Nazi.
That was the scene where confrontation.
You know, I'm gonna give you my opinion here, and what the hell do I know? When we talk about being a veteran or serving your country, I served my country. It's like kind of my opinion that these ICE guys, are these ICE guys serving their country? I think so. Like they are literally helping stop the invasion. They are apprehending day to day. It's incredibly dangerous. They're kicking in doors. They're snatching people up. These are illegal, criminal, violent, illegal alien invaders. Are they serving their country? Yes, I think so. These ICE agents, these ICE officers, hell yeah, they are. Yes, they are serving this country. It's a brutal job out here, man. They got to deal with stuff like this. Good God. Good God. I've got another update here for you. I guess we'll take a look at this one here. We're still having stuff come out. Another angle.
Murder someone! You're murderer! You fucking asshole! Go the fuck back to where you came from! Get the fuck out of our city!
Have you noticed there's at all of these like anti-ICE riots and protests, there is always, every single time, a trans person with a megaphone. And you can tell every single time. It's obvious. How is there always a trans person screaming into a megaphone every single time? Literally every single time without fail. Trans person with a megaphone. Here we go again. Okay.
Get the fuck out of our city! Go the fuck out!
Yep, there it is.
Terrorist, coward motherfuckers, get the fuck out of our city! Get the fuck out of this neighborhood! We don't want you here! Everyone hates you! We fucking hate you! Go the fuck out! Please!
Boo. Whoa. Did you see that? Rewind. They're banging on the windows like chimpanzees. Right in the face. Absolutely astounding. Astounding. I'm trying to keep on top of everything here, folks. We have an update from Christy Gnome.
Kids without fear. Yes.
Business owners across the Rio Grande Valley told me they're concerned about some of the sweeping ICE raids on work sites, particularly in construction, where sometimes workers with legal status are being kind of swept up in the process, delaying projects and hurting our economy. What is your message to these businesses?
Well, that's simply not happening. So it's just not true. We are focused on going after the worst of the worst in every community across this country to make sure that we're making our streets safer. And anyone who is a citizen of this country or is here legally has nothing to fear, has nothing to get out of bed in the morning to be scared of, because we are only enforcing the law. If you are in violation, if you have perverted one of our programs in order to be here illegally, absolutely, you may be held accountable for that action.
Okay, so I was looking for live aerial footage. I don't think we have that right now, unless... Okay, we actually do have a little bit of live aerial footage here through the Fox Live broadcast. We also have on the ground footage right here. And then we also have another little update over here. What do we have here? This is elsewhere in Minneapolis today. It's Greg Bovino. Mr. Bovino. Dude, just get in your car, stop, put your damn cell phone away, get in your car, and drive away. And while you're driving away, make sure to not run over any ICE agents. It's that easy. Sometimes I feel like watching these videos, I feel like I'm the smartest person in the world. And I'm not. But when I'm looking at these people, I do feel that way, because I'm like, man, you know, I don't seem to have any of these issues. I never get shot in the head with a tear gas canister by ICE agents. I never get, you know, pushed on the ground or pushed over by federal law enforcement officers. Why? You want to know why? It's because I don't put myself in situations like this. I don't go looking for trouble with ICE officers. I don't try to run ICE officers over with my vehicle. I don't try to steal the weapons off of federal officers. I don't like, the point is, it's pretty easy, in my opinion, to not get involved in situations like this. I feel like it's really not that hard. Hey, yo, man, what you doing, man? Hey, yo, man, what you do? Dude, just like get out of the way. Hey, yo, man, what you doing up here, man? What's up with that, man? Hey, what you doing and shit, man? Dude, just shut the hell up and get out of the way. Get out of the way. Hey, yo, man, what's up with these ICE, man? What's up with that, man? Dude, get out of the way.
You. That head look real ugly on you, you bitch. I gotta make sure I got the red kid, bitch. Red kid.
Where is my mouse? There it is. Good God. Amazing. Amazing. Truly astounding. Yeah, dude. Like, literally all you have to do is drive straight down the road. Just leave. Just go away. This is insane. There was another page here that I wanted to take a look at that has a lot of this on the ground. Ukrainian American journalist. Okay, so this person had a lot of footage here. One of these videos actually showed the inside of the car where this woman got shot, and there was blood all over the airbag and stuff. So I want to make sure I don't show that one. So hold on here. I want to make sure I'm not playing anything too nuts. Okay, this one we can take a look at. Stand by here, folks. This is all moment by moment. This is the nature of this live breaking news coverage. I believe that Greg Bovino is actually in person on this scene. Yeah, he is. And they're yelling at him. They're pissed off. They hate this guy. They hate this guy. Okay, so I've got a couple more videos here for you folks. Here we go.
Hey, back up into the sidewalk, please. Thank you so much. Yep, I know. We're having a very nice conversation with you, but I don't want you to fall in the street.
No, you're not. I asked you a simple question. I asked you why we're presenting murders. And this is so we can get the investigation started.
Here you go. You know, listen, hey, when an overweight black woman is speaking, you need to listen. Okay, listen and learn.
And get more updates. I'm just letting you know, most importantly, we want ICE to be gone from here. And that is what we're trying to figure out from there. We are trying to figure out from there, but we cannot do that with ICE over here further escalating and being problematic after already shooting a civilian. So that is our most important piece, so you're right.
Why did ICE shoot that woman again? Why did they do that? Why? I'm having some difficulty. Oh yeah, I remember why. It's because this person tried to run over the ICE agent with the 4,000-pound car. Oh yeah, that's why. I remember now.
We're getting updates, and we're trying to get MPD to get them up out of here. That's the best way that could be helpful right now. So I just want to.
What is the hat that this guy has? The hat says, "We heart our Somali neighbors." What is going on in Minneapolis? What in the... Bro, you are Somali. Bro, wait a minute. I just looked at your face. Dog, you are Somali. That would be like me wearing a hat that says, we love white people. It's like, dude, I am white. What do you mean we love Somali neighbors? Dude, you are Somali. It doesn't... Okay, whatever.
That's one of the relay that updates. Yes.
Is the L-Rod gonna leave? What? Why is the L-Rod here now?
All right. Okay.
We're leaving?
This is leaving.
Okay.
Yeah, we are trying to get those folks leaving.
Okay,
so I just want to let you all know that so you all aren't in the dark about what's happening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for keeping us updated.
Okay, let's go.
By the way, I should buy a hat that says we love white people. I should get a hat that says that. It's a good idea. Folks, the only positive thing about the situation here is that it is winter. It is cold as hell. In fact, what is the temperature right now in Minneapolis? Let me Google that. Minneapolis temperature. Okay, it's actually not too bad. It's a balmy 40 degrees. It's 40 degrees. It's not really that bad. However, if it was summer, if it was June, July, August, if the weather was a little bit better, then listen, because during the winter, it's not exactly riot season. People tend, all the big riots tend to happen during the summer, right? When weather's a little bit warmer. And so hopefully we don't have any major rioting tonight. Otherwise, I think we would, but maybe it's too cold. Maybe it's too cold out here tonight. Maybe they don't want to do that. The weather's got to be right. Those are the sheriffs. That chant, no ICE, no KKK, no fascist USA. They have been using that chant since 2016. That's the first time I heard it. I heard it in person in downtown Portland. They were shouting the same damn thing in Portland. They were saying, no Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA. Okay. In 2016, before the guy had even become president.
Fucking neighborhood.
Did he just call it the gayborhood? Did he say gayborhood or neighborhood?
Fucking neighborhood.
He called it the gayborhood. How dare ICE shoot people in the gayborhood? This is not just any regular neighborhood. This is a gayborhood where everybody is gay, and they're coming in here and shooting people. What in the living hell is going on here?
Get the fuck out! His mom doesn't love him. His mom doesn't love him. His mom doesn't love him. His mom doesn't.
His mom doesn't love him. In the gayborhood. Just another day in the gayborhood.
Yeah, I know, man. I get you guys. I get why you guys are mad. We'll do something. We're out here doing something. Don't talk to us. Officer fucking reasonable. Officer reasonable. If you can talk to people, just get back to 33rd.
Oh, this one I am not going to show. This one I will show.
Fuck you! You are all terrible individuals. Use that in your defense. Get the fuck out! Go home! I believe it. I fucking live here! You don't fucking live here! Your hate, that's it! I'm late for work because you motherfuckers killed people. Does that feel good? We're not fucking being here to fucking shoot people.
There he is. There he is. You know, every time I see Greg Bovino, my brain, like, immediately goes back. It's like, you know, the year is 137 AD. The Roman legions are on the march. Commander of the legions, commander of the Germanic legions, Commander Bovino is conquering the Germanic tribes. I don't know, he just looks like an ancient Roman damn, you know, legionnaire commander or something, right? He's out here, he's doing it. There he is. There he is. You're going to hell. Lady, do you even believe in hell? Do you even, like... You're
That's hilarious. Yeah. I am Aryan. You're right. Yeah.
Este güey también es de paisa. Este güey aquí.
You're fucking not too.
Astounding. We have a statement from Governor Tim Walz. I'm sure everybody has been holding their breath, waiting to hear what this genius has to say. He says, I've seen the video. Don't believe this propaganda machine. The state will ensure there is a full, fair, and expeditious investigation to ensure accountability and justice. Now, once again, for those of you that have not seen the video, maybe we have people that have not seen the video. This is what happened. This is the shooting today that sparked this entire dynamic. Here we go. So once again, we will break this down step by step. The ICE agents are in their caravan of cars. Here's the truck here. They are trying to leave the neighborhood. The operation is over. They want to go home. This woman here has decided to park her car in the middle of the road, horizontally here, blocking the traffic. She is not allowing the ICE officers to leave. The ICE officers get out of their vehicle and they tell her, get out of the car. They say, get out of the car. You might note their weapons are not drawn. They do not have any firearms. The woman, rather than getting out of the car and listening to the federal officers, puts the car into reverse and then puts the car back in forward drive and floors the vehicle, attempting to run over this ICE. There's two of them, one on the side and one in front of the car. She reverses, then pedal to the metal, full steam ahead, tries to run this guy over. You might note, only after does she start driving forward does he pull his gun out. When she first puts that car back into forward gear, he doesn't even have his gun drawn. He only draws it in response to her flooring the gas. And so she floors the gas. She's driving right into him. And then right about here, you have your first shot. Because she actually hits him. She drives right into his hip, into his pelvis. And if you don't believe me that she hit him, we can actually see that from a different point of view. Here's an angle down the road. Take a look. She drives into him, and you actually see his body recoil. Can you see that? So she hits him. Only after does she hit him Does he then open fire in self-defense? This woman made a series of bad decisions. Bad decision 1, she's blocking the road. Bad decision 2, she ignores the federal order, or the federal agent giving her the order, get out of the vehicle. And then bad decision 3, she decides to try to run over a federal officer. A series of 3 consecutive back-to-back decisions, dumber, that results in this entire dynamic. This totally could have been avoided if she was not a complete and total dumbass. And of course, you don't like to see anybody die. Here's another angle. We've got another angle here.
Get the fuck out of our neighborhood. Out car.
This angle here, you can really tell shots do not start ringing out for a considerable amount of time after she's already flooring the gas. I mean, pay attention right here. You just watch. She was already blasting off before shots got fired. This is just insane. What a complete and total moron. And then you have Governor Tim Walz, who is perhaps the biggest dumbass in the entire country. It's like, dude, take a hint. Nobody wants you. Dude, your own party pushed you to drop out of the election. Republicans hate you. Democrats hate you. Even Somalians hate you at this point. He's down bad. He comes out today, half hour ago. He says, I've seen the video. Do not believe the ICE propaganda machine. The state will ensure there is a fair and expeditious investigation to ensure accountability and justice. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, about an hour ago, they held a press conference, and he said that this was not an act of self-defense on the part of the ICE officer. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, an hour ago, he said that this ICE officer just started shooting for no reason. There was no reason. He just decided to kill an innocent person. Absolutely insane. What do we have here?
But it would appear, we'll see what the investigation reveals, that the shot came from in front of the vehicle. Just get your thoughts now on what we know so far.
Uh-oh. If the shot, I mean, we already know this. We've all seen how this transpired from 3 different angles. We all know exactly what happened, but this is just further proof. If the shot came from in front of the vehicle, therefore the officer must have been in front of the vehicle. It's all the case is being built out. There you have it.
It would appear, we'll see what the investigation reveals, that the shot came from in front of the vehicle. Just get your thoughts now on what we know so far. From a legal perspective, but it
truly just astounding. Okay, folks, I'm going to find some more updates for you guys. Okay, well, actually, never mind, because they are on commercial break right now. All right, stay with me here, folks. You know, I wonder if I can find, let me just quickly do this. Can I find Minneapolis Live on the ground? Minneapolis Live. We got a live feed, aerial footage too.
You know, if you're angry at ICE, that these are the
I'm looking
folks
for
who are now
updates.
kind of coming in to respond to things like crowd control and keeping property and lives.
Yeah, I don't think ICE is even here anymore. This is all local PD.
What's happening? We've also been told that Governor Walz will hold a press conference at 2:15. Of course, we will take that to you live.
That's a half hour from now.
We have our reporter Leon Purvis on the ground there at the scene at 34th in Portland. And Leon, you have a witness with you, right?
Yes, here I have with me Trevor Heitkamp. You witnessed the crash. And the shooting this morning.
Yeah, that's correct.
Walk us through. Tell our viewers, what did you see?
So I woke up, stepped outside of my house to smoke a cigarette. I heard commotion from about a half a block away. I walked towards the scene, and there was a maroon Honda kind of like sideways in the road. And people were shouting move your car, you're obstructing the road. And the car began to back up and then pull forward at maybe 2 miles an hour. And then someone started to shout, no, no. And then a moment later, 4 or 5 shots were fired into the vehicle.
3.
And at that point, I believe the person's foot hit the gas pedal pretty hard, and then it crashed into the nearest car on the opposite side of the street. And then after that, the surviving passenger got out of the car, covered in blood.
There was a passenger.
And a man on the street claimed to be a doctor and was shouting, "I'm a physician, I'm a doctor, allow me to provide emergency medical care." The ICE agents who were there said no.
No, they should say no.
Get on the sidewalk. And while that was happening, a different agent was shouting, "No pulse, no pulse." Within 2 minutes, emergency medical ambulances were here. They couldn't get in from the north side, so they got in from the east, parked around the corner. And I saw 2 ICE agents, presumably ICE agents, carry the body from the vehicle halfway down the block and around the corner to where the ambulance was, where the body was given CPR and then taken away.
Now, you mentioned you live around here. That was pretty gruesome to see.
Yeah, it was. This was maybe 4 or 5 houses down from where I live.
And what's your reaction to all this? Because you're filming this in real time.
Yeah, I started filming immediately once I got to the scene, because that's what they say you're supposed to do when this kind of thing happens. And within 30 seconds of me filming, the shots were fired, and this person died for what I believe was no reason other than a minor inconvenience and imagined fear.
Really?
And what do you make of
really?
what you saw? I mean, what do you make of all of it?
It's so disappointing. It makes me incredibly angry. I'm still in a state of disbelief. I can't believe that something like this would happen in my neighborhood.
Has something like this happened before, depending on how long you've been here for?
I've lived in the neighborhood almost 4 years. I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen a person die before.
And, you know, we're working on getting that video for all of our viewers and everything. And, you know, just when you first showed me it, I couldn't believe it myself.
Yeah, the car was moving forward pretty slowly. It seemed to be complying with what the agents wanted of getting out of the road.
No.
And then, yeah, like, I think this guy got scared for a half second about a car that he was not directly in front of. I don't know why.
He was
used what I think is unjustifiable force in a very lethal way.
Is there anything that people at home should know right now for our viewers that are watching as the investigation unfolds?
Like, the shooter was on the opposite side of the car from where it was on the sidewalk, but I didn't see any danger, and I think any narrative about this person ramming the ICE agent, I don't think that's true.
It's on footage.
Thank you so much for your time. Definitely.
Dude, quite literally every single thing he just said is wrong. Quite literally every single thing. Right there, boom, and there is your first shot fired. Boom, right there. You can see sorry, I'm swearing, I'm sorry. You can see the plume of smoke there. After she has already rammed into him, he is in front of the car. She says, I'm going to drive into you and potentially kill you. Only after hitting him with the car does he fire. In fact, this officer, he would have been justified perhaps if he had shot 1 second sooner. This officer, to his credit, this ICE officer, he waited until he had already been hit by the car to fire the first shot. He said, okay, I'm going to be professional. I'm going to wait until after you crush my pelvis before I shoot you. And that's what he did. That is literally what he did. Insane. This is the narrative that they are trying to push right now is absolutely insane. The tires are spinning. You want to know something here? Snow being on the ground, a little bit of ice and snow probably saved this officer's life. If this driver had good traction, there is a good chance that she would have hit him with more speed because she floored it. She floored it. And she spun out a little bit on the snow and the ice before she ended up catching traction. If there was no snow or ice here, that officer might be dead right now. Like legitimately.
No! No! Shame! Shame!
Wow.
Oh my fucking God! What the fuck? What the fuck?
That's crazy. That is crazy. Okay, we have another. Okay, this crowd is growing in size.
Some brief statements while she was speaking at the border of Texas.
By the way, Governor Tim Walz is going to be issuing a statement in about 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, we're going to hear from the illustrious Tim Walz. Now, I will take a look at some super chats. I should probably get caught up on these here. I'm being a terrible broadcaster here right now. Love USA. Okay, we actually saw that one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is Akrabi. Thank you very much. Welcome, new supporter. Can you ladies? We just want to see the aerial footage. Ladies, that's all we want to see. Okay, pause the super chats here for a moment. I'm going to try to find a second bit of footage here. Minnesota Live. Get these women off the screen. At one point, there was some on-the-ground footage as well. But seems like we might have even lost that. Okay, I've got something here. Yep, I think so. Okay, thank you for the patience. This is for the time being, this is better than nothing. And now we'll double back and finish taking a look at these super chats. Okay, so Akrabi, thank you very much. I appreciate that. This is Jumpin' Jack. He says, Matt, you need a moderator. The chat spam is outrageous. Okay, I promise you, after today's broadcast, I will try to figure out some more moderators. I will look into it. I'll look into it. Thank you very much. Yeah, you're right. I probably should. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. This is God is King. It says, Matt, this is all happening as planned. Marxism 101, create chaos and mayhem until the capital system falls apart. Yeah, we were talking about that the other day. I think you're right about that. I think you were right about that. It seems like a lot of this is intentional. This is not happening incidentally, by accident. Doesn't seem to be the case.
You can just see with the number of people that keep on heading there. As Chris said, though, we really want to encourage everyone to remain calm. We are
Seems like more and more people are showing up.
Do anything until we have it confirmed.
Right. Well, we've confirmed that there was a shooting, and it involved ICE in some way, shape, or form.
Now I have some updates here, folks.
It involved those 3 vehicles there that Gordy just showed us. I do want to say quickly, though, that we've covered this for months now. And back on December 10th, we did a story with Police Chief Brian O'Hara, and
we have an update coming out of Fox News. I will take a look at this. A lot of swearing. This is immediately after the shooting here. Amazing. We've got another little update here. We'll see what we say on this one.
He then said, get the F out of this city to those ICE agents. John.
Yeah, I've seen the video several times as well. I've kind of gone through it frame by frame. I don't want to describe it because you can't see the entire scene play out. There's an area in front of the vehicle that is obscured by the vehicle itself, so we don't know 100% what happened during that incident. But what I saw of it does counteract the narrative that they were trying to push their car out of the snow.
I haven't heard that. Hold up. The initial left-wing narrative was that they were trying to push their car out of the snow? That the car was stuck in the snow and they were trying to innocently push it out, and then ICE just open fired for no reason on a car that was stuck in the snow, killing one person. Really? Well, that is obviously not the case.
ICE agents who were involved here, because that vehicle was clearly in the middle of the street as it was approached by a couple of federal agents before it sped off. So again, we'll wait until we get clearance to look at this video and have eyes that are more expert than mine take a look at it. But clearly there are very, very conflicting opinions of what happened. We have the one opinion from DHS, and then we have the other opinion from the mayor and local official.
This was so obviously, so clearly self-defense. Inarguably, undeniably, indisputably self-defense.
We just got a statement from ICE, and I'm just going to read it to you live. It says, today, ICE officers in Minneapolis were conducting targeted operations when rioters began blocking ICE officers, and one of these violent rioters weaponized her vehicle, attempting to run over law enforcement officers in an attempt to kill them, an act of domestic terrorism. An ICE officer, fearing for his life, the lives of his fellow law enforcement, and the safety of the public, fired defensive shots. They go on to say he used his training and saved his own life and that of his fellow officers. The alleged perpetrator was hit and is deceased. Thankfully, the ICE officers who were hurt are expected to make a full recovery. This is the direct consequence of constant attacks and demonizing of our officers by sanctuary politicians who fuel and encourage rampant assaults on our law enforcement, who are facing 1,300% increase in assaults against them, 8,000 increase in death threats. They go on to say this is an evolving situation. We will give the public more information as soon as it becomes available. So again, that statement coming just in from ICE, confirming ICE-related shooting, saying that victim is dead.
Yeah, you heard Aiden's account, and every eyewitness account that I have heard contradicts the statement that the ICE agents' lives were at risk. But that's why we are asking about video. That's why we're asking
We've seen the video.
Some of the observers had the video, and whether the ICE agents are wearing the body-worn and using the body-worn video, because that would help us know for sure. But again, I've talked to 5 eyewitnesses. All of them contradict the ICE statement that their agents were at risk when they started shooting.
This is a great example of why eyewitness testimony is like worth pretty much nothing in a courtroom. People lie, people misremember things. If you show 10 people the same picture, they're all gonna end up describing it differently, right? Eyewitness testimony, especially from inside the middle of a neighborhood full of radical far left progressives that don't like ICE. Of course, all of them are going to have some type of anti-ICE narrative. Well, I don't know. I just came out of my house and I saw ICE. They had a machine gun and they were mowing down dozens of illegal immigrants. Immigrants, because nobody's illegal. And then they got a flamethrower out. They were torching illegal aliens like it was a barbecue or something. It was terrible. Like, really though? So anyway, of course, all of the eyewitness stuff. Luckily, we have video footage. Luckily, we can see exactly what happened here. And this is exactly what happened. This woman floored her car into a federal officer. It was only after she hit him, hitting his pelvis, then only after getting hit by the car, did he then fire his first shot. We know exactly what happened. And also we know that they approached the car without weapons drawn. None of them had their guns out. They said, ma'am, get out of the car. And by the way, this is after she had already been blocking the road. I'll just play it. She's blocking the road here. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
No! No! Shame! Shame! Oh my fucking God! What the fuck?
Once again, after being told 3, maybe 4 times to get out of the car, after blocking the ICE agents from leaving, and after hitting one of them with her car, only then does the first shot get made.
No! Shame!
Amazing. We have some, this crowd is getting big. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a lot of
As far as the
people.
information that we know that she's a 37-year-old woman. The chief mentioned that she...
So it looks like they are actually cleaning up the barricades. They put some barricades out here earlier. They're getting rid of the barricades now. This is a lot of people. Take a look at some super chats. We have a super chat here from... Well, this is from Mr. Yeager. He says, Matt, filter the chats to members only. It's getting flooded in here. Oh, I'm not going to do that. Thank you, though. I appreciate the membership there. I think everybody should be allowed to talk in the chat, not just people that give me money. This is frickin' Brian. He says, that woman's blood is on the Democrats. They have willingly brainwashed these people to react violently towards our ICE agents. And that woman felt it was best to disobey authority and someone over. I mean, yeah, so this is a term we've talked about a lot. It's called stochastic terrorism, where the far left, they are excelling at this. Every single day from the far left, you hear that Trump is a terrorist, he's a Nazi, ICE agents, Nazi, fascist, terrorist, blah, blah, blah. This is old footage. We already saw this. And they say this, they engage in this type of rhetoric because they know that at a certain point, all it's going to take is 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 insane, mentally ill, radically progressive individuals that have maybe some mental illness or whatever. They get programmed into doing something terrible like this. And that really is the reason why the far left engages in this type of speech. They are hoping that people do this. They want people to do this. They want people to try to get in the way of ICE and Trump and whatever else. That's what they're hoping for. Another video here.
We're obviously seeing some uniformed officers arriving on the scene there. Can you help us out with what we're seeing?
So uniformed officers, again, they're going to be coming in at this point because you've got a large crowd of individuals and you want to maintain the peace there. And there is now a scene that's going to be fully investigated. And again, the FBI is looking into that. But we've got to maintain order, and we cannot have an eruption of violence in response to what just happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hell of a lot of people. Yeah, right now, everybody is kind of waiting to see what is the response going to be. Is this going to be kind of like a George Floyd 2.0 dynamic where we have riots and protests? You are already seeing this. All of the far left politicians, all the senior ranking Democrat politicians around the country, they are coming out and saying, this was an act of unnecessary aggression and violence from ICE, and all of this could have been avoided if President Trump didn't order ICE into the streets of Minneapolis and blah, blah, blah. The ICE is whatever. They're President Trump's evil fascist thugs, etc. That is already the narrative at the moment. We have another big super chat here from Sterling. He says, it's very simple. Follow directions and you will very likely not be harmed. Also, do these people have jobs or just stealing all of our federal funds? Keep up the good work. My 1-year-old son smiles when he hears your voice. Well, hey, shout out little baby 1-year-old son. That's all. Can I tell you a funny story? I have a 2-year-old son, about 2.5. Yesterday, he walked up to me and punched me right in the face, like full force. He was walking up, he was smiling. Hey, maybe I'm going to get a big hug. Nope. Bah! I said, hey, what the heck was that? I just got punched in the, and he didn't pull that punch either. He was full force, all in. He even pivoted his hips right into it, full body motion. He punched me right in the face. I couldn't believe it. That's how sons are sometimes. That's just the way that it is. No, thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I want to, folks, bear with me here. What I would like to do is try to find some on-the-ground footage. Oh, what do we have here? No. Stand by here for a minute, folks. The crowd is getting larger. It most certainly is. You know what? I actually think that we had a live feed there. This is what I was looking for. So the police, they are packing up these metal barricades. They had them down earlier. I guess they cleaned up the crime scene. We have our lovely aerial footage here, but the crowd continues to grow. Now, like I was saying a moment ago before that very generous super chat was, is this situation going to devolve? Are we going to have riots? Are we going to have big protests? Are we going to have people, destroying businesses and lighting buildings on fire? We've seen that before in this town, especially. Time will tell. If we have anything going for us, it's that it is winter. It's pretty cold outside in Minneapolis. And so, as you know, what I'm trying to say is it's not exactly protest season right now. People don't like to protest or riot when it's this cold. If it was summer, it might be a different story. Now, a couple more super chats here. I want to make sure I don't miss any of these. Thank you, Sterling, by the way. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, sir. As a legal immigrant from communist Venezuela who waited years, went through multiple health screens, paid thousands to be here, I support ICE 100%. You do it the right way, or you don't do it all. I appreciate you doing it the right way, because a lot of people, they don't. Oh, and of course we just lost our aerial footage. Right when you find something good, you lose it. We'll see if this other channel, I think this is the same feed. Yeah, and they just cut to another one. Okay, that's fine though. We've got on the ground. Hey, on behalf of America, thanks for doing it the right way. Thank you very much. Oh, there's the aerial feed is back. This is Justin. He says, if they think they're not going to get shot trying to take out an ICE agent, then they went to the Leering Center for Education. Yeah, and sometimes, they need to leer a hard lesson, I guess. I hate to say it. Really, you just hate to see situations like this. I don't think anybody is celebrating this situation. It is a terrible situation. At the same time, it's like stupid games, stupid prizes. Stupid games, stupid prizes. You hate to see it though. You don't want to see this at all. However, it can be very easily avoided. Stacy Woodson says, Matt, TY for your awesome coverage. It's the best. Also, mod another channel if you need help. I got you. God bless. What I'm going to have to do is... Oh, I'm hearing something here. What am I hearing? I can hear you.
Hello, 1, 2, 4. Is
audio
good for you?
Okay, folks. Governor Tim Walz is going to be giving a press conference here in the next 5 minutes. I actually totally forgot about this. In 5 minutes, Governor Tim Walz, the biggest dumb silly Billy in the entire country, is going to come on out here and give a press conference. And of course, he's going to spread nothing but lies and bullshit. However, we will listen to it nonetheless. We'll do it anyway. And then afterwards, we will correct all of his bullshit. So he's going to come out here allegedly in 5 minutes. You can't help but notice this incident today happened on Portland Avenue. It's always Portland, isn't it? Portland, Oregon, Portland Avenue, Minneapolis. It always has to be Portland, doesn't it? Has to be Portland. No, what I was going to say is that whenever I get a hold of some moderators, I need to get everybody in in a group chat or something so I can talk to everybody at the same time in case anything happens. So I need to figure that out. Thank you though. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Let me take a look here. Anything else I'm missing over here while we are waiting for Tim Walz? He says, I live in Minnesota and I can tell you right now, at 40 degrees outside, give or take, that woman was not stuck in snow. The media is full of crap. She hit the agent. It's on footage. Hello from Wyoming. Hell, you've seen it. We've all seen it. Everybody's seen it. This woman was not stuck in snow. We know she was not. And we know she was not because she was pretty easily able to just drive out of it. And in the process of doing so, she ran into an ICE agent. It's almost like she did that on purpose, huh? Almost like she did that on purpose. In fact, you can't help but notice here. Look, everybody, please focus in on her front left wheel. Front left wheel, right by the officer's legs. What does she do with that wheel? What does she do? Which way is she turning the steering wheel inside of the car? What is she doing? She cranks that son of a gun right into the ICE agent. She says, I'm coming, you're in my way. I don't give a crap. In my way, out of my way, doesn't matter. You are getting ran over, ICE agent. She cranks that wheel right into him. Right into him. Luckily, he's quick. He's nimble on his feet. He jumps out of the way. He still gets hit in the pelvis. And then he ends up jumping out of the way, but he does get hit nonetheless. Look at that. And also, by the way, worth noting, you can actually see this. You can see right here. You can see the officer that gets hit. You can see him draw his firearm. He actually does not draw his firearm until after he's already been hit. This vehicle is now ramming into him. Only after he gets hit does he draw the firearm and then ultimately take his first shot right now. So he has already been hit by this car. He's in contact with the car for like a solid second or so before even taking his first shot. This guy really, he was patient. You got to acknowledge the patience there. Now, what do we have here?
So we're watching, just kind of watching for anybody who, seeing how close they kind of get.
We've got movement here, folks. Pay attention.
Throwing snowballs, and I guess I've never looked up.
Oh my gosh. Everybody, pay attention. Wow. So the crowd, they are chasing the group of police cars. And these aren't even ICE anymore. These are just like local police, I believe. They're driving out. They're wrapping up the scene. And the mob is chasing them down the road. And that's a lot of people. That's probably 250 or maybe 300 people if I had to guess. Maybe 400. Who knows? That's a lot of people. And they're chasing them right out of town. So we'll see if they are throwing anything or impeding traffic or what. We got to see. This police van has stopped. What are these flags that they are waving? I see FTA. Does that mean F the authorities? FTA, this says land back. Land back. Oh, so this is some like native movement. There's a Mexican flag. Oh, FTP. F the police. Land back, which is some native land reclamation movement. And then a Mexican flag. So that figures. Not exactly surprising to see those flags. F the police. Uh-huh. We've got some people holding up signs over here in the top right. Just complete and total insanity. These people are just insane. And you know, it's predominantly young men out here, young immigrant foreign men that are down here causing problems. I mean, you can just tell, you just look at them, right? They're the ones that are up here getting in everybody's face. It's not even like they have strong ideological convictions. They're just looking to cause problems. They're just looking for drama down here. They came down here to cause drama. And this goes on for an entire city block.
From the initial call, the initial incident that happened this morning, we still don't know. We still don't have information about what ICE was doing there in that particular spot in that neighborhood this morning. Specifically, clearly, the White House has sent thousands of agents here to Minneapolis to, they say, arrest those who have deportation orders. And so we know that is happening. We know there's a big surge. In fact, the acting director of ICE just yesterday said it is the largest ICE operation ever, the largest ever. So we knew this was happening. And then it was just after around 10 o'clock this morning when we heard that there may have been some sort of an ICE-related shooting. And then a short time later, confirmation that there was a woman who had died. And we saw the video of the woman in the vehicle. And 37 years old, a white woman.
37.
Pretty much all we know. We don't know much more about her. We know that a spouse arrived at the hospital shortly after she was taken there. So that is all we know at this point. But the governor, again, speaking at 2:15, so any minute, and we may learn a little bit
I've got
more.
an update.
Yeah, the governor will be the third person that we have heard from today.
Ladies and gentlemen, massive update here. Take a look at this.
Bob, I want to jump in here. I want to ask you where you're at right now. And we're seeing the images
They are now down here burning American flags.
on the screen. There's that flag you were talking about being burned here. What kind of things are they shouting? The crowd that's out there, I know they're obviously not happy ICE is there. They've been talking about that. What are they saying? You know, what's the energy like where you are right now?
So that's one reason why I'm not getting too close, so I can hear all of you, because it is loud out here. It's profanities, a lot of profanities against ICE.
Bob, I want to jump in.
A lot of profanities, a lot of F America, F Trump, F ICE. You know what they're saying. Oh, now they're going in between cars. Oh, boy.
View, as we're seeing this area view right now at 34th and Portland of
oh,
people,
boy.
Walking down this street, holding up signs. We also had some audio from the ground there as well, as people just kind of using their voices to voice their concerns at this point after we know a 37-year-old woman was killed by an agent this morning.
Yeah, most of this playing out live. You know, didn't obviously have the initial incident with the driver being shot, but afterward, just sort of watching everything play out for the last several hours and the escalation that happened in about the 11 o'clock hour. Some of the city leaders who did show up, and we saw video, or actually saw live shots of them talking with law enforcement on that scene very early on, and law enforcement crediting them with really helping to keep that environment as calm as possible. I think that may have gone a long way in this not escalating even further, and some of those city council members stepping forward and saying, you know, they wanted ICE to leave, and the way to do that was just to kind of keep the peace and not escalate things and have more people get hurt or worse. So we've seen a lot. We've seen the story take many turns here today, and then of course there's a lot we don't know. There's so much we don't know. There's even seeing the video, there are things we can't see in that video. We see we see the vehicle. A vehicle can be used as a deadly weapon. We don't know the details of the officer who fired the shots. We don't know how close that officer was to the vehicle. You know, the gun, was it drawn already? There are a lot of things that we don't know. So that'll all be investigated by the BCA, and I'm sure there will be more video as well.
I've got a big update here, folks.
On the ground right now. Leon, is there something going on that you can tell us about?
Well, Amy and Simone, the crowd actually just dispersed. Just take a look over my shoulder. There was a crowd here earlier, but police were moving.
Well, dispersed because they were marching down the road. Ladies and gentlemen, allegedly we have an identity for who was inside of this car. The woman who was murdered by ICE, her name was Renee Macklin. Allegedly. And this is a photo that was taken. I'm going to be honest, this almost looks like AI. Okay, maybe I'm tripping out. I don't know if I believe this. I pulled this up, I said allegedly. This looks like AI. Also, notice the white woman whose face you can see here, she's not in the driver's seat. It's it's a different person in the driver's seat, and you can't even see their face. So this white woman would not have been the driver anyway. This doesn't look real. I'm sorry. I don't believe this is real. I don't know about this. It looks a little bit too weird here. Anyway, okay, yeah, so probably scratch that one off. That's probably false alarm, folks.
Still there at all, or have all of them gone away? Because we were looking at an aerial shot and they were driving away. So I just was interested to know if they are still there from what you can see.
Sorry, Simone. Sorry, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. What did you ask me? I'm sorry.
It's okay. As we're trying to just gather a lot here, and as we're looking at this aerial shot here, we had seen a lot of the officers. It looked like they drove away, and their vehicles are no longer there. From what we can see at this point, from where you are, does it look like all of the officers are gone at this point?
Yeah. So it looks like police left from this area. I'm just going to take a quick look down the street here. It looks like police have left this area for the most part, and it looks like there's a couple of community crossing guards to help direct traffic, it looks like. But yes, this intersection.
Okay, I do have breaking news here. The plates of the vehicle that nearly ran over the ICE agent were registered in Missouri. These are Missouri plates. This is the back of the car. This, you can tell, is not AI. And there's a bunch of... You guys know I'm from the Portland, Oregon area. These stickers here to me on the back windshield, they scream like environmentalist libtard. These are like stickers you get if you go to like a national park or a state park or something like that. This is very common for outdoorsy liberals. This is like an outdoorsy liberal thing to do this, to have these. Super common, at least where I'm from. Everybody's doing that. Anyway, so these are allegedly from Missouri. The plate is a Missouri thing. Is a Missouri plate. JK6W3D. Interesting. Curious. And Governor Tim Walz is coming out any minute now, folks.
Since this happened, as Leon mentioned, you could see what he says, crossing guards, the people in the bright yellow vest there. They're kind of just conducting, helping with traffic, as we're in the middle of the afternoon right now. This is a residential area, by the way, guys. There are a lot of homes up and down Portland Avenue there. So you can imagine people may be trying to get home, leaving their homes. This is the first time that they are able to do so, because all of this area was blocked off by that crime tape. So again, you were looking at some aerial shots here as we are watching people walk down the streets. Now that this street is open, people are using that to then walk down the road here as police are now gone, as Leon says, from what he sees from his viewpoint.
Yeah, and this is what part of the crowd that was behind some of those vehicles as they were kind of escorting them out from the back and making sure that the vehicles got out. Some of them throwing snowballs, but now kind of turned into almost a kind of like a march. Yeah, it looks like they're kind of continuing on down the street. We are awaiting, and at any moment, I don't know if we have a shot up. There it is. This is a press conference that we are told. We're going to hear from Governor Walz coming up here momentarily. It was
There's the live feed, and we're going to watch that together, of course, folks. But first...
Different forms. This is the car that the woman was driving now up on the flatbed of a tow truck being taken away.
Can I say something terrible? This is the exact car that my mom drove all throughout when I was in like middle school and high school. This was our family car. This exactly the same color also. It was the exact same color. This maroon red. For like 6 years we had this exact car.
You can see a bullet hole there in the lower right-hand side of the screen of the windshield. But Jillian, these people are out every day protesting ICE, shooting at ICE. In some cases, as we've seen in Texas, using vehicles to try to prevent them from doing what they're doing, ramming their vehicles in some cases. So everybody is on a hair trigger. So if there is an incident where somebody's in a vehicle and ICE confronts them and that person speeds off, and again, this will come down to an investigation and maybe end up in a court of law. But you could see that a law enforcement officer might reasonably expect that their life is in danger.
Well, for sure, and you've had these tracking apps on our smartphones that allow protesters, activists, potentially violent actors to track where ICE is moving. There is a big movement that intimates or implies violence against ICE officials who are enforcing the law. And there's no question that there is an organized movement. I think a lot of these protesters are paid protesters.
Well, duh, it's like, how exactly do you think 45 or 50 individual protesters turned up on a Wednesday morning at like 10 in the morning at the exact spot these ICE raids were getting taken care of in a residential neighborhood? Do you think 50 people with signs and cameras and gas masks just rolled up at it? Oh, I happen to be in the neighborhood with my gas mask and my anti-ICE sign. No, of course not.
Which is something that needs to be looked into. And John, Coleman Hughes the writer wrote a very interesting piece in the Free Press about 6 months ago in which he went back to the civil rights era. And he said Martin Luther King during the civil rights protests.
Different.
I don't care what Martin Luther King had to say about that. That's crazy. They're still out here marching. Look at that.
falls within those rights. And then you have others who are there who
They're
are
walking down the
agitators,
road.
who are specifically trying to cause problems and specifically trying to escalate things on both sides of it as well. So, you know, there's a lot going on here, and too much for us to really opine about, and I don't think anybody wants to hear us do that. So we're just trying to do our best to really show you what is going on.
We have a vigil. Do we have a vigil here now for the woman that tried to kill the ICE agent? Yeah, sure, yeah. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. What is that, a piece of shit? No, sorry, my bad. Sorry, I'm being crude. I'm sorry. That was crude. I'm sorry. So they're out here paying tribute. By the way, I don't even think that we know
Yep, I can hear you.
the name of the woman that lost her life. I don't think we have an identity yet. Not that I have seen.
Yep, the car's gone. That's where everyone's gathering now. They've moved closer to where this is.
Yep. And Governor Tim Walz is coming on out any minute.
Had to try to disperse the crowd. They used pepper spray. One of our reporters, Karen Scullin, was out there. She was.
I would suspect that this crowd gets bigger as the day goes on. Don't you think so? And you just know, we already saw Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey come out and do this. He said, ICE shot this woman for no reason. This was not a self-defense shooting. The woman did nothing wrong. The mayor of Minneapolis about 2 hours ago already came out and said that. I would suspect that Governor Tim Walz any minute now is going to come out and do the same exact thing, which is pretty much just pouring gasoline on the fire that we already have, instigating rioting and protesting, whatever. You just know this is going to get worse as the day goes on. It would not surprise me at all. We have a little update here.
There are a few points in which pepper spray and tear gas were used, but right now it seems like the numbers are growing. In terms of the kind of protests we've seen here in Minneapolis, it's light. Martha.
Thank you very much. Mike Tobin on the scene of this live event that is unfolding as you watch on the left-hand side of your screen. That'll continue to be the live shot. Whereas Mike reports, you've now got about 400 people on the scene. We saw some minor altercations between law enforcement and people in the crowd. Mike reporting that it appears to be calm at the moment. With that, we bring in former acting ICE director.
There are a few.
I have an update here, and I don't even know what this means, but I'll tell you. Breaking news, Tim Walz has just activated the, quote, Minnesota State Emergency Operations Center. Minnesota State Emergency Operations Center. Whatever exactly that is, Tim Walz has just activated it.
Propaganda machine. The state will ensure there is a full, fair, and expeditious investigation to ensure accountability and justice. I want to put up yet another one here of my producers behind the scenes, bringing this one up on the screen from Tom Emmer. He is the GOP Majority Whip, saying our ICE agents put their lives on the line every day to protect our communities from dangerous criminals. May God bless and protect them in their efforts. Shame on the elected officials who endanger these agents by spewing lies and hateful rhetoric. And lastly, I want to put this there from Tom.
Stand by here, folks.
Program. We may have to step away with this. I'm continuing to see some movement on this camera there in the room. It doesn't appear as though anyone has walked up yet, but several folks are continuing to walk in.
Okay, folks, we have as of 60 seconds ago, we have an update from President Trump. Right there. I'm going to read this to you, ladies and gentlemen, now. Trump says 60 seconds ago, I have just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Well, let me get something interesting on the screen, for the love of God. I have just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator, and the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer who seems to have shot her in self-defense. Based on the attached clip, it is hard to believe he is alive, but is now recovering in the hospital. The situation is being studied in its entirety. Well, who the hell is this guy? Can I just get some footage? I'm going full screen. Based on the attached clip, he's recovering in the hospital. The situation is being studied in its entirety, but the reason these incidents are happening is because the radical left is threatening, assaulting, and targeting our law enforcement officers and ICE agents on a daily basis. They are just trying to do the job of making America safe. We need to stand by and protect our law enforcement from the far-left radical movement of violence and hate. And then Trump attached to this post one of the video clips that we have seen numerous times here. Can I full screen this? So he's got it in slow-mo where you can actually see the car crash into the ICE officer right there. Boom, crashes into him. And you can see his body recoil back. And then after being hit, after being ran into with this car, does he open fire on this woman? I think really, this is probably the best angle here to really explain what happened.
No! No! Shame! Shame!
I mean, she just drove into him. And here's the first shot. She had already accelerated towards him and hit him before there's the first shot, before the first shot even goes out. And also, listen, before she even started accelerating, this guy, the ICE agent, he didn't even have his gun drawn. He only drew his handgun after she accelerated into him. And then it was after he was hit by the car, then he fired. After she had already plowed into him. It's a female driver. Allegedly. Seems to be a female driver. And now Governor Tim Walz is going to come on out and lie to all of us. We are excitedly awaiting Governor Tim Walz to come out and try to lie to the nation. We can't wait to hear that. She was warned. She was told 3 times to get out of the car. And that was after she was already just like belligerently blocking the road with her vehicle. So, step 1, she's blocking the road. Step 2, ICE agents approach her vehicle without their pistols drawn or anything. They don't have any firearms drawn on her. They just walk up to her and say, "Get out of the car, get out of the car, get out of the car." They say it 3 times. You can hear it on footage. You can hear it on the video. In response to being told, "Get out of the car, get out of the car, get out of the car," she then puts her car into forward gear and slams down on the gas, driving into an ICE agent, hits him. Only after being hit by the vehicle, then does he pull out the gun and fire on her. The order of operations here is like you just watch the video. It's very clear what happens. Could not really be clearer. In fact, if you guys want, I'm gonna link the video if you guys want to share that or go watch that on your own. There's the video right there. I will also say, everybody, do me a favor and make sure to like and subscribe to today's broadcast. It really does help a lot. It really does help a lot. Make sure to like, subscribe. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. Oh, man, today is just a live broadcast day. We did our live broadcast this morning, and then this terrible situation unfolded. And I suppose I'll probably do a live broadcast this evening also. We're just going to be live all damn day today. So thank you, folks, for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Tim Walz is a crook. He is a crook. He's the definition of crook. Sure is. Sure is. This wouldn't have happened if the woman had stayed at home and browsed TikTok videos. Well, that is true. That is true. 2 bad decisions. Well, I mean, in my mind, she made 3 bad decisions. You could even go more than that. The first bad decision she made was intentionally parking her car horizontally in the middle of the road to stop ICE from leaving the scene. So she deliberately blocks ICE. She parks her car horizontally in the middle of the road. That's bad decision 1. Bad decision 2. ICE officers walk up to her vehicle and say, "Get out of the car, get out of the car, get out of the car." She ignores them every single time. That's bad decision 2. Bad decision 3 is after ignoring the officers, they're ordered to get out of the vehicle. Then she puts her vehicle into forward gear and slams down on the gas and attempts to run over an ICE officer, trying to kill him. That's bad decision 3. 3 totally stupid, dumb decisions. And because she did that, now something terrible has happened. But the reality is this entire situation is totally avoidable. Things did not have to happen this way. I mean, here's kind of my personal thing. Listen, I don't know if you've noticed, I am a conservative white man in this country. I'm a conservative white man. And even me, when I'm interacting with the police, I try to be as calm and civil and respectful as I possibly can because I don't want any crazy things happening. Tim Waltz. We have audio here, Tim Waltz. Turn the microphone on.
Good afternoon.
There it
Today
is.
I'm joined by Department of Public Safety Commissioner Bob Jacobson, Colonel Schaefer of the Minnesota National
My left
Guard,
ear loves this.
and Colonel Bogojevic of the Minnesota State Patrol. This morning we learned that an ICE officer shot and killed someone in Minneapolis.
I'm gonna do this one. Sorry,
Commissioner Bob Jacobson.
There we go.
Colonel Schaefer of the Minnesota National Guard, and Colonel Bogojevic of the Minnesota State Patrol. This morning we learned that an ICE officer shot and killed someone in Minneapolis. My deepest condolences to the family, to the loved ones who had to learn about this tragic event on national television. We've been warning for weeks that the Trump administration's dangerous, sensationalized operations are a threat to our public safety, that someone was going to get hurt. Just yesterday, I said exactly that. What we're seeing is the consequences of governance designed to generate fear, headlines, and conflict. It's governing by reality TV. And today that recklessness cost someone their life. I've reached out to Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, and I'm waiting to hear back. Let me be clear. Donald Trump and his administration may not care much about Minnesota. That's been pretty evident. But we love this state. We won't let them tear us apart. We'll not turn against each other. To Minnesotans, I say this. I feel your anger. I'm angry. They want a show. We can't give it to them. We cannot. If you protest and express your First Amendment rights, please do so peacefully, as you always do. We can't give them what they want. The hearts and minds of the people in this state are on our side. To Americans, I ask you this. Please stand with Minneapolis. To Minnesotans, know that our administration is going to stop at nothing to seek accountability and justice. The State Bureau of Criminal Apprehension are working on the investigation. We have activated the State Emergency Operations Center. State Patrol and Minnesota National Guard leadership is connected with the Minneapolis Police Department, the St. Paul Police Department, Hennepin County Sheriff's Office, the DNR, and Minnesota's Homeland Security and Emergency Management. We have activated dozens of members of the State Patrol's mobile response team.
Barry Morris, thank you. Whoa.
And from here on, I have a very simple message. We do not need any further help from the federal government.
Shut up.
To Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, you've done enough.
Okay, no more federal funding then.
There's nothing more important than Minnesotan safety. I've issued a warning order to prepare the Minnesota National Guard. We have soldiers in training and prepared to be deployed if necessary. I remind you, a warning order is a heads up for folks. And these National Guard troops are our National Guard troops. They're teachers in your community. They're business owners. They're construction professionals. They are Minnesotans. Minnesota will not allow our community to be used as a prop in a national political fight. We will not take the bait. We will continue to update you, Minnesota, as we get more information. Now I'd like to turn it over to Commissioner Bob Jacobson of the Minnesota Department of Public Safety.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you, Governor. As the Governor mentioned, my name is Bob Jacobson. It is my honor to serve as the Commissioner of the Minnesota Department of Public Safety. First of all, I want to acknowledge the reason that we are all here. The loss of life is not anything anyone would ever want. We fully expect that the community will want to peacefully demonstrate their anger or frustration. Minnesota residents and visitors have the right to peacefully demonstrate. We recognize that demonstrations are often driven by strong emotions, beliefs, and certainly a desire to be heard. Our role is to help ensure everyone can express themselves without anyone getting hurt. The Minnesota Department of Public Safety's role through the Minnesota State Patrol is to ensure safety, protect constitutional rights, keep roads accessible, and above all, to prevent harm. Our top priority is public safety. Our focus is keeping demonstrators, community members, drivers, and law enforcement safe, especially during moments of heightened tension or uncertainty. Demonstrations must remain safe and lawful, particularly around roadways. We will join with our partners to support safety while respecting the right to protest. With that in mind, I'd like to share a few safe and lawful ways to demonstrate. Minnesotans can safely and legally express their views in many ways, including getting together peacefully with others in public spaces, marching or walking, not on roadways, making your voice heard through chants, speeches, and displaying signs, being present in public areas where pedestrians are allowed, gathering in designated or permitted areas.
They are so scared of riots.
Allow people to express themselves while protecting the safety of everyone involved. Unsafe or illegal actions could result in fines or arrests. Certain behaviors create serious hazards that threaten public safety, disrupt emergency services, or put people at risk. These actions could result in fines or arrest. Demonstrating on or entering a freeway on foot, walking on highways, throwing objects, starting or setting fires, damaging property or graffiti, using illegal fireworks, displaying or using illegal weapons, reckless or dangerous driving, especially near pedestrians, and certainly assaultive, aggressive, or riotous behavior toward anyone. We all want definitive answers to what happened today. Our Bureau of Criminal Apprehension is working in conjunction with the FBI to investigate this morning's shooting. As you know, we don't comment on active investigations, but also keep in mind that this is an investigation is also in its infancy. So any speculation about what had happened would be just that. And we will not engage in speculation.
We can see the video.
With that, I will turn it back over to the governor.
The videos.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Plural.
We'd be glad to take any questions. Yeah, and I can let General Schaefer talk about this. It so happens it's a training weekend. We've got about 7,500 troops in training at our sites, training sites across the state. What it is, and in the National Guard, you give a warning order, which is a heads up of something could be coming. That just allows people to think about what they would need, what it would mean to mobilize, what it would mean to put them in. And I could let the General talk a little bit about this. Obviously, since the summer of 2020, we had a lot of work done on teams being ready to make sure that civil unrest, and what that means, and I think Commissioner Jacobson was very clear, and I want Minnesotans to hear this from me. The desire to get out and protest and to speak up to this administration of how wrong this is, that is a patriotic duty at this point in time, but it needs to be done safely, and I think the Commissioner simply just laid out some of those parameters. We can do that. This is the peaceful resistance that we need. Simon, you want to say a few things about what that means to have them on the ready?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Governor.
So for the military, Minnesota National Guard is comprised of 13,000 soldiers and airmen. We live all across and work throughout Minnesota. A warning order is just an initial step to increase your preparations. The Minnesota Guard is always prepared to respond and support state agencies and the citizens of Minnesota. So what that means for us today is just some additional checks on equipment that is ready at all times, and maybe some additional phone calls to service members who might be activated, but no activations. We are embedded with our state agencies here at the Operations Center to just continue parallel planning in the event that we are needed to support.
Thanks, Joe.
It might be.
Note, Mary, and to Minnesotans on this about the National Guard, they're there to protect you and protect your constitutional rights. These are our neighbors. They don't wear masks. They don't bust in from somewhere else. They're not here to cause hassles to you or what we saw today, the tragedy. Having them at the ready to make sure, because when we see these types of things happen, and we saw it after the murder of George Floyd, there's folks that want to cause chaos. There's the disruptors in it. And while the vast majority of those protests were peaceful expressions of their First Amendment rights, there were those that destroyed property and put people at risk. The National Guard is there to make sure that peaceful protests are able to be done, and that those that want to do the destruction are stopped from doing that. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and I think apparently by a federal agent, not by Minnesotans who were there to express their First Amendment rights. I think we've seen this to have folks ready. The gatherings that were down there today, I think this shocked everyone. People showed up as they should. There's people putting flowers down on a memorial. There's people expressing their anger. It's just as these situations develop, we decide when we need to move these people out. And I think the local reporters know well on this. Both unfortunately and for us, the upside of this is that we're very good and we've had practice at this. And I just want to again implore Minnesotans. I am not telling you not to express your anger or your frustrations or the outrage that we have. Look, this was totally predictable, as I said it yesterday, and it was totally avoidable. And I just want to remind you, too, that local law enforcement, we get no coordination. They don't tell us they're coming. They don't say why they're sending the largest deployment in American history
I wonder
to
why.
Minneapolis. They're not making us any safer. We don't have any of that coordination. They should be talking to us when we do these things. Let us know we're going to be down here. This is going to happen. We don't have that. So when you see local law enforcement or state patrol, or if it would take the National Guard, we're there responding to the chaos they've created too. But our role is to make sure that we're protecting Minnesotans so that something like this doesn't happen. I have not. The question was, have I spoken to the individual's family? No, we do not have a definitive ID on this individual. And I'm going to note to all of you, I think it's really important, and the professionals do this, and they train me to do this. This is an open investigation. You need to be very careful about it. I know that many of you, myself included, have seen a very difficult video to watch, one where there's a family member watched their family member be shot and killed in front of them. It's beyond me that apparently from the federal government, from the Homeland Security Director herself, has already determined who this person was, what their motive was, and they hadn't even been taken out of the vehicle. We're not living in a normal world. And so, no, I have not. And I want to be very careful because I know how painful this is. I know how painful it is right now. I'm saying person and all that. This is a human being. This very well is an individual's child, a parent, and we don't know that yet. So, no, I have not. But once we do, we will. So, yes. Please. Colonel, would you like to do that? Colonel?
So the governor was mentioning mobilizing more of the state patrol. How many state patrol people are on the ground in Minneapolis right now? And should there have been more state patrol people on the ground a couple of weeks ago when ICE came?
So the question was, how many state patrol troopers have been deployed to the city of Minneapolis? Right now, we don't talk typical numbers because that is considered security information. We do have a specialized team that does deal with crowd control. And so they have been deployed. But again, they are from all over the state of Minnesota. So they will come in tiers to the state.
And they had already been on the ground to some extent.
I got big news for you guys here in a minute.
No, it was in response to this event.
One more. Sorry, just to clarify the intention of deploying National Guard, is there any chance that the National Guard will be deployed against federal agents to protect Minnesotans?
I'm sorry. What was it? Well, I said this yesterday. We've never been at war with our federal government. I think in this case that the National Guard is their main mission. They have a dual mission. There's the federal mission when they're under Title 10 orders, and then they're under Title 32 orders. In this warning order, there's nothing officially been done yet. If I am to activate them as the Commander-in-Chief of the Minnesota National Guard, I will issue the executive order to the Minnesota National Guard, and then they will be put in state duty status. And as you've seen over the last few years, that could be flood prevention, that could be after a wind-blowing storm up in the north, up in Bemidji, or it could be COVID or George Floyd response. In this case, again, it doesn't necessarily change the mission. They're there to protect Minnesotans. They're there to serve Minnesotans. I think the thing that is so challenging in the moment we're in is we don't see a desire to work with us on public safety. We hear a demonization of our state. We see people coming in who don't know our community, and we see this massive display for the TVs that we're trying to understand how is this coordinated. And some of you watch the videos on there. Total chaos. And look, I have very limited work in this is the training in the National Guard, but I've had a lot of training now to watch how our professionals operate. After this person was shot, federal agents milling around, touching the vehicle at a crime scene and things. I don't know what to tell you, and I don't quite know how to respond to the question other than my primary responsibility as governor is the protection of the people of Minnesota. And you can be assured, whether it's the State Patrol or whether it's the National Guard, their deployment is there to protect Minnesotans from whatever it is. If it's an act of nature, if it's a global pandemic, or in this case,
Somalians,
if it is a rogue federal agent. I don't know at this time, and I want to be very careful. It's unprecedented that we have the federal government's already determined exactly what's happened here and the motives of an individual that we don't even know the name. They don't know the name. And that's very difficult. So,
we've seen the video footage,
Dana.
dude.
Dana.
3 different angles. We know exactly what happened here.
Look, and I understand the uniqueness of this moment in this week, following this week, seeing what's happening in the backdrop of a show hearing in D.C. My job is to govern, and my job is to see what the facts are. This happened a couple of hours ago, and we're already pitting American against American. All of you saw a video in your eyes. We have a chaotic situation caused by the largest deployment in American history of federal agents into a community with no communication to locals. We had a chaotic situation where an individual is in their car, shot and killed. And so, look, I want to be very cautious here because Donald Trump will make this about me. He will make this about politics. This is about public safety, and this is about normalcy. To Americans who are watching this, if you're in Portland or you're in LA or you're in Chicago or you're wherever they're coming next, stand with us. Stand with us against this. This was
against the federal government?
So preventable.
Yes, it
so
was.
So unnecessary. And I don't know. I hope. Maybe we're at the McCarthy moment. Do you have no decency? Do you have no decency? We have someone dead in their car for no reason whatsoever.
She was trying to drive over an ICE agent.
And I don't want to be right about this, but
We
I
all
said
saw
if they
it.
do this, they're going to create a chaotic situation where someone innocent's going to get killed. And they did it. And now we hear more political rhetoric. Enough. Enough is enough. And so to Minnesotans, don't take the bait. Do not take the bait. Do not allow them to deploy federal troops into here. Do not allow them to invoke the Insurrection Act. Do not allow them to declare martial law.
Do not allow
them to lie about the security and the decency of this state. And let's let this investigation play itself out. Let's make sure we protect our neighbors. I encourage you to use your First Amendment rights and all of your constitutional rights, but do so in a peaceful manner. We'll gather back with you as soon as we gather more information that needs to be put out. But again, stay safe, Minnesotans, and we'll be back with you. Thank you, Bob.
So, folks, here's what I'll tell you right now. I am sure that Tim Walz right now is absolutely pissed off, because if this situation, if this shooting, this attempted running over of an ICE agent earlier this morning, if this had happened a week ago, I promise you Tim Walz would not have dropped out of the 2026 Minnesota gubernatorial election. Don't you agree? He dropped out 4 or 5 days ago. If this shooting had taken place, this dynamic with ICE, if this happened a week ago, do you think he would have dropped out? Of course not. Absolutely not. No, he would have campaigned on this. He would have doubled down. He would have used this to distract from all of the Somali fraud and how he was complicit in all of it. He would have taken this and used it as a lever to attack Trump and campaign for his next election. Of course he would not have dropped out. So I'm sure right now he's like, oh man, I wish I would have waited a week. I wish I would not have dropped out. Now, I will tell you something here. I'm seeing some of you guys say that Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey and Tim Walz, that they want people to riot, that they're dog whistling to get people to go riot all across Minnesota and Minneapolis. I actually disagree. I disagree. I actually really disagree. And the reason why is because we all know the second people in Minneapolis or anywhere in Minnesota, the second people start rioting and getting rambunctious and rowdy and crazy and burning buildings down, the second that happens, President Trump, he has just cause. He has legal pretense to take control of the Minnesota State National Guard. Then Trump can do what he wants. The second those riots happen, then Trump is in complete control and he can do whatever the hell he wants in that state. And so there is a reason why we heard Jacob Mayor Frey as well as Tim Walz today at both of their press conferences. They said, express your First Amendment, but do not riot. We need to keep this peaceful. Do not give them what they want, as if Trump wants them to riot so that Trump can then deploy the National Guard. And I think that is what would happen if they do riot. I really believe that they Jacob Frey and Tim Walz, they do not want riots right now, because that would be handing the ball to President Trump. Now, Tim Walz, he did say something here very curious, and it's almost like a counterpoint, kind of like maybe I'm even arguing with myself here. He said something curious. He said, "It is in fact your patriotic obligation to go out and protest." He said, it is your patriotic obligation to go out and protest and push back against what President Trump and ICE are doing. And so Tim Walz is in a tough spot, because he has to come out here and be this anti-Trump champion of the progressive left and say, yeah, we got to push back on President Trump, but not too much, because if we push back too much and start burning buildings down, then we've got President Trump taking control of the National Guard and running our state. And so Tim Walz, he's between a rock and a hard place, where the hard place is President Trump and the rock over here is the progressive left that want to blow up the city. Pretty much, we all know that that's what they want to do. Like the actual people, the far left, normal, everyday radicals. Now, he said something totally bizarre. Did you guys catch this? He said, there was a question about, what are you going to do about these ICE agents? And his response was, well, I don't know. We've never been at war with the federal government. And it's like, wait a minute, what? Like, huh? Wait, what did you just say? I think that was a slip-up moment. I think that was a mask he's taking the mask off type of moment. I think he let that slip. I think this is the type of stuff that they are talking about behind closed doors. And he accidentally said that publicly. He should not have said that publicly. He said, well, I don't know. We've never been at war with the federal government. I don't know what we're going to do about these ICE agents. We've never been at war with the federal government. So that really is a light into the mindset of these far left radicals. They view themselves as being at war. There is a war between the far left radically progressive sanctuary states and President Trump's federal government. Now, in fact, by the way, in the 1860s, there actually was a war where a collective of states, you guys might have heard about this. You might have heard the news in the 1860s. There was a little group of states. They happened to be down south. They got together and they decided that they actually didn't need to follow or respect the authority of the U.S. federal government. They said, well, listen, we actually don't need to do what you say. We're going to do what we want to do. You have federal law. The president is saying to do this. In fact, the Congress is saying that you can't do this. And they said, well, actually, we're just going to do whatever we want. There actually was a war. There was a war. We litigated this, like 160 years ago. This was litigated. And as it would turn out, you actually do need to follow federal law. As it would turn out, you actually do need to listen to the executive authority of the president of the United States. As it would turn out, you actually do have to listen to Congress. So we've already kind of litigated this. And it's kind of curious because in this dynamic, it's all of these radically progressive blue states, these sanctuary states that have collectively decided that they just don't have to follow federal immigration law. We have, believe it or not, we actually do have federal immigration law that says illegal aliens are not allowed to invade this country. You are not allowed to aid and abet and hide illegal aliens from federal immigration officers. You're not allowed to take taxpayer-funded benefits, various welfare programs, SNAP, food assistance, housing. You're not allowed to give that money, federal money, to illegal aliens. In fact, you're not even allowed to allow illegal aliens to vote in elections. Now, all these radically progressive blue states, they have decided, well, we're just not going to follow those rules. They've been doing those things anyway. And so now, I don't know, maybe he is right. Maybe Tim Walz is right. Maybe there is some type of war. Maybe there is some type of Cold War between these far left radically progressive blue states. I hope not. I hope that these blue states, they get a grip and they realize that they can't just act with complete and total impunity. They do have to follow the law, just like the rest of us. There's federal immigration law. You got to follow that. There's all types of laws, federal laws. You got to follow it. That's kind of the premise of the republic, which we all live in. They've decided, we just don't really care about that. I don't know. Maybe Tim Walz is correct. Maybe there is some type of Cold War dynamic going on here. I don't know. I really hope not. But that was, man, real insight into the mindset of this guy. Guys, the governor of one of our 50 states came out today and said that his state is at war with the federal government. That happened. 10 minutes ago. I'm going to say it again because it's so freaking crazy. One of the governors in this country, we've got 50 governors, 50 states. One of our governors in this republic came out today, 10 minutes ago, and said that his state is at war with the federal government. How crazy is that? How nuts is that? That is insane. He literally said that. That is insane. That is insane. I need to take a look at something here, folks. Truth Social, I'm hearing that maybe President Trump has said something else 3 minutes ago. Okay, that is unrelated. Never mind here. Now, I want to show something here, ladies and gentlemen. Allegedly, there are DHS Black Hawk helicopters flying over the sky of Minneapolis right now. That sure looks like a DHS Black Hawk helicopter. We saw a lot of those in the skies of Portland over Portland. Big DHS Black Hawk helicopter presence over Portland, Oregon during the Antifa riots. We saw a lot of that. And so I will tell you what, depending on what happens here in Minneapolis tonight, I think we might see some National Guard deployments here, depending on what happens. We got to see what happens. I think it's probably too early yet. We have a big super chat here from Mark Mason. He says, Matt, I'm feeling the same as you. This has to stop. I don't know how in the world Waltz can stand there and lie through his teeth with a straight face. I'm sick and tired of this. I mean, we all know that these people are liars. We've known that for a very long time. This lie, this narrative that they are perpetuating today, saying that this ICE agent just opened fire on this woman in the car for no reason. It was a needless, totally avoidable act of violence. The woman was innocent. She did nothing wrong. The ICE agent just decided to blow her brains out for no reason. This narrative that they are running with right now, this has got to be one of the most shameless, just brazen, honestly, disrespectful lies that they have ever told. And the reason why I say that is because it is so obviously a lie. They're acting like all of us are blind. They are acting like all of us don't have functioning eyeballs inside of our brain. We can see exactly what has happened here from 3 different points of view. We've got footage over there, footage over here, and footage down the road. We know exactly what happened. It's almost disrespectful that they are trying to lie in this way. Imagine I walked up to you and I took your wallet out of your back pocket and you watch me do it, and I open your wallet up right in front of you. You're watching me do it, and I take out a $100 bill, and then I hand you back the wallet. And you watched me do all of it. And then you say, hey, dude, why did you take $100 from me? And I'm like, I didn't do that. I didn't. What are you talking about? I didn't do that. And you say, what do you mean? I just watched you do that 2 seconds ago. What do you mean? I watched you do it. No, you didn't. I didn't do that. This is that level of lie. It's just absolutely, completely shameless. It is insane how brazen and disrespectful they are with these lies. Now, we had a big super chat here a moment ago from Rachel Wilson. Hi, Rachel Wilson. Shout out, by the way, the Wilson family. She says, does anyone besides me think it's just a little convenient for Tim Waltz that this incident happened in Minneapolis today? There will almost certainly be huge riots to distract from the billions in fraud. You know, maybe my brain kind of goes in a different way. Like I said, and it seems like some of you disagree. That's fine. I actually think that right now, I think that the Minnesota state Democrats are praying that there are not riots. And the reason why I'll say it again is because if there are riots tonight or tomorrow or the next day, you can bet your ass President Trump is flooding this state with National Guardsmen. That will be the perfect pretense with which President Trump can actually not only commandeer the Minnesota State National Guard and supersede Tim Waltz as the governor here, but maybe he can even send in other state National Guardsmen into Minnesota. So I actually go the other way. I think the Minnesota State Democrats, they are praying that there are no riots tonight or the next day or whatever. And then beyond that, I actually think as far as Tim Waltz is concerned, this shooting would have been, and it's like disgusting to say this, but I actually think this is what he's thinking. This shooting would have been much more expedient for him and his political career if it took place a week ago, because then it would have happened before he dropped out. And then he could have hijacked this entire narrative and tried to use it as a wedge issue to stay in the 2026 Minnesota gubernatorial election and to criticize President Trump and his evil fascist dictator ICE agents. You know, I would suppose that they actually are not really that happy about this. The Democrats in Minnesota right now. I think this entire situation has the capacity to completely blow up in their face. This could go very poorly for them, especially predominantly considering the fact that we can all see the video footage. We know what happened. This could not be more clear cut. We know the ICE officer did not just randomly open fire on this woman. Now, I heard a joke on Twitter. Somebody said this, and it's a little bit sexist. It's terrible. Somebody said, you know, in her credit, she probably was trying to avoid the ICE agent, but she's a woman driver. Okay, that's incredibly disrespectful. Now, I'm looking for more updates out here. In fact, we might even just see a National Guard deployment tonight anyway, preemptively. Preemptively, we might see that. Oh, good Lord, we have a statement from Ilhan Omar. Okay. Show the footage. Okay, I'll show the footage one more time in case anybody has not seen this.
No! No! Shame! Shame! Oh my fucking God!
That is what happened earlier today. That is what happened. And so I'll give you the total rundown. Step by step by step. This woman was parked in the middle of the road. She was deliberately trying to stop the ICE officers from going home. The operation was over. This woman has parked her car horizontally along the road to block the ICE officers. The ICE officers stop. They get out of the car. They slowly walk towards the vehicle. And as they're walking, they say, "Get out of the car, get out of the car, get out of the car." You hear it verbally on video 3 times. And the woman's window is down. So she can hear what they're saying. Get out of the car, get out of the car, get out of the car 3 times. She does not do that. Instead, and by the way, you'll notice these officers, they do not have their weapons drawn. They're not pointing guns at her. In response, she backs up her car and then floors her vehicle, pedal to the metal, and drives her car. By the way, there's an ICE officer now right in front of her vehicle. She slams the gas, drives her car right into this ICE officer. Only after hitting him, you can see when the first shot, that's the first shot. This plume of smoke goes out, whatever it is. Only after literally hitting him with the car does he fire his first shot. She drove the car right into his pelvis. Boom. And also, worth noting, the officer doesn't even draw his firearm. You can see him draw his pistol there. He doesn't even draw his firearm until the car is already in motion going forward. So she already has forward momentum. She's already driving into him before he even pulls the gun out of the holster. And then only after being hit by the car does he actually make his first shot. So this is as clear-cut self-defense, justified as it possibly can be. And still the Democrats, you know the narrative that they are pushing right here. We've got, is this live footage? This appears to not be, this is not live footage. There's a lot of super chats here. I'm falling behind. This is from Birdie. He says, "Matt, you're doing a heck of the job. Next to Scott Jennings, you're the top intelligent stream out there. God bless your family and that beautiful beast who sneaks in once in a while. A little Argos. I need to take him for a walk today." Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Scott Jennings, he's a pretty smart guy. He's a sharp guy. He's as quick as a whip. So, hey, I take that as a compliment. Thank you very much. I want to, while I go through these super chats here, folks, let me go ahead and try to pull up some live footage. Do we have live footage here? Do we have anything on the ground? Because right now we just have a bunch of talking heads talking. Minneapolis live. Well, hey, thank you all for tuning in. We're doing some emergency news coverage right now. You know, I'm not exactly happy that we are here. We've got something here. Looks this is NBC. Looks like they are playing the footage here. We've seen that a million times. Let me take a look at some of these super chats. Thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. And I apologize in advance if I miss anything. It's kind of a crazy, hectic day. This is Falcon's Disciple. He says, "Let's be honest, had the driver succeeded in injuring or killing the agent, the left would be celebrating." Yeah, of course they would be celebrating. They would say that Nazi fascist piece of shit, he got what he deserved. And you want to know how we know that? You are absolutely right. We know that because this is what they said immediately after they successfully assassinated Charlie Kirk. We know that. We know that. We know how these people are. They are sick and they're disgusting. They're disgusting people. This is some aerial footage from a little bit earlier, actually. Let me take a look here. This is Salute or Surrender. He says, "Matt, There's a difference between lying and this BS they are pushing. This is insane. It is insane. It is beyond just lying. It's something even worse, if there is even a word for that. It is subversive. They are being deliberately and intentionally subversive. We live in a post-truth world. Well, at least that's what they would like. Now we have another super chat here from K24U today. Matt, a court ruled he cannot deploy the National Guard until he cannot stop the issue with regular troops, so it would need to be U.S. military, and Waltz has tried. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's a part of this dynamic also. And thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. This is Houston Myers. He says, you can see the driver's wheel peeled out. Yeah, you can see that driver crank the wheel to the right, directly in the direction, right towards that ICE officer. Yeah. Couldn't be more obvious. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The one who was in the front looks like the shooter. Yeah, the one who was in the front of the car. Yeah, that got hit in the pelvis. He was the shooter. That's right. The ICE agent. Ladies and gentlemen, I am scanning to see if there are any big breaking news emergent updates here as it relates to this specific scenario, and I'm not sure that there are. At this point, I don't think we have any more big tidbits coming out. I think we might have even covered all of it at this point. And so, kind of what I'm thinking right now is that I might wrap up the show. This is the second live broadcast of the day. I might wrap it up, take a little break, and then come back and do our regular live broadcast at 5 p.m. Western, 8 p.m. Eastern, if that is okay with you. So today will be no videos, only live broadcast footage all day. So I'm going to wrap it up right now, folks. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. I really do. I need a little bit of a break. Thank you very much for being here in this emergency out of nowhere broadcast. Make sure to like and subscribe and follow and do it all. And I'll do my best to be back. I think I will be back at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Western, and we'll cover the evening news. So thank you all very much. I'll see you in a couple hours. That's less than 4 hours from now. So I'll see you folks then. Thank you. And until then, stay safe. Thank you all very much.